Hi guys, welcome to this video. I am Prashant. I am the founder of Word Pandit and I am bringing this series of videos to you wherein I explain previous year CAT questions. Here we've got a CAT 2018 RC question. Before you go through this question, I would request you to go through the passage analysis video. That's going to help you understand the passage a lot better. Let's get started with this particular question. The question asks you, the author suggests that a major reason why India has not so far acknowledged its role in the Second World War is that the one thing that you've got to remember in this particular question is there is no direct reference to this fact in the passage. There is only an implied reference, and you've got to derive the answer from that implied reference, right? So you've got to read between the lines. Now, what do I mean by reading between the lines? Refer to this context. You will understand that with partition and the onset of the India-Pakistan rivalry, both of the new nations needed fresh stories for self-legitimization rather than focusing on shared wartime experiences. So when the partition took place and India and Pakistan were formed, both these countries wanted to legitimize their identity. So they wanted to form an identity of their own, right? That's what they wanted to do. That is what was the outcome of the partition. Now, in this particular case, the important thing here is that both these nations, they needed fresh stories for self-legitimization rather than focusing on shared wartime experiences. So you've got to keep this in mind. You've got to keep in mind that they are just trying to create an identity of their own. If you look at option number A, it uses some very clever words, but it's very deceptive and it's deceptively incorrect. Why? So it says blames the war for leading to the momentous partition of the country. Now the thing here is the war did not lead to the partition of undivided India. That did not happen, right? They wanted to forget the war, right? They did not want to focus on shared wartime experiences, right? So they needed to forget it. But it does not say that the war was the cause for the partition. That has not been stated, right? Hence ruled out, right? Option number B wants to forget the human and financial toll of the war on the country. The human and the financial toll, these are just numbers. They don't want to forget it. What they want to do is they want to create an identity of their own, which is implied by option number C, has been focused on building an independent, non-colonial political identity, right? So they wanted self-legitimization. They wanted to legitimize their identity. They wanted to build an identity of their own, which is the option which is closest to this sentiment. Option number C is the closest to the sentiment. Remember, again, as I said earlier, this is not directly stated in the passage, right? So this is an implication from this context and is not directly stated. D views the war as a predominantly allied effort with India playing only a supporting role, right? This does not answer this question why India does not want to acknowledge its role in the Second World War. Again, does not answer that, right? So it's just that the war is not part of the Indian history. The author does not agree with it. There is no such thing implied that it was a predominantly allied effort and India just saw itself as playing only a supporting role. This is not the reason for forgetting the war. Hence, another option ruled out. So the only option that fits here is option number C. That's also an extended derivation rather than being directly stated in the passage, and we derive it from the context mentioned here. Hopefully so you're clear with the question now. Thank you very much for watching this video, and as always, happy learning.